colors and stuff over there. The letters are pretty short. We can put where we have 6 containers. Let's put 1, 2, 3. This. Were you envisioning that we do a little bit of a splitting on this, or we just plant it as a chunk?
I was thinking that is whatever least amount of stress to it as possible, and however you think it's best going to grow.
Usually we maybe we can try to split it.
Yeah, a little bit.
In 3 or 4.
Ah, nice.
Like that, to give those roots more nutrients available. If you put like 20 plants together, then they only have that space for feeding. And but if I distribute them, then they have space. So let's put 3 of those on that side. Then we'll distribute them. Put these 3 over here. Then we'll have our front.
So all right, that's it for now. We'll come back later and give you an update as to what we have on this side. And that back area over here is going to get greened up here come shortly. Then your donations of time or energy or anything. We take people and take funds that have been given to me and put them into stuff like this right here. Raised beds. Florida soil is so sandy that for the most part to try to just improve and it kind of has a quick release system that anything kind of put into it can easily be just dropped down below it and out of reach of the plants, which only have about a 6 to 8 to 12 inch that kind of root system. So we raised the beds, raised the soil up off the ground, relatively speaking, and just create just a really nutrient-rich plant filled humus, so that the roots can get in there real easy and just have it pretty much made in the shade. And that's some sugar cane. It was actually the first thing that was planted. One of the first things planted. It's the only thing actually still alive 8 months later. We didn't have too much money before to get too many plants, but here we are now. And so yeah, that's in the back you can see there's some rows of, those are all little leafy greens in there up above there. And so this is how it looks here. There's some butternuts there. Not in the best place now, but when we planted a month ago, we didn't know we were going to have such enthusiasm and get so many people out here helping out. And we've kind of gotten a little ahead of schedule, so it's a new schedule now. And this is basically taking some of these azaleas, which are acid loving, and kind of once again the first layer is, well, usually even cardboard. You can see some of it over there. There's a variety of names for this technique, but it's pretty common with variations. Basically, it's cardboard below to just kind of give you a little bit of many years actually of reduced weed control. But I don't really find it's even that necessary because of the style I use, which is much more based on basically hay or straw on top. To basically create a nice mulch layer on top of just hay and straw. Works really great for moisture control as well. And so what we have here is basically a nice little bed here of the wood chips, and that's going to break down over time. And then we're going to we come to the next phase, which is where we put the next layer on of the much better enriched materials, complements of Love's Farms, a little plug for those wonderful people. I think over in Ocala, and they come out, drop off 20 yards for about $300 of this good stuff, and everybody wins. So, and then here's an example of it over here as well. And just because we're a little bit low on some of the brown stuff, we're only doing it basically on the south side first. The sun's up over there in the south part of the sky, and so we're basically working on the south side first versus the north side, because we got plenty of shade. We're looking to really bump up our sun gardening with the least amount of trees coming down as possible. So this is a way to kind of fuse or merge a relatively normal azalea style landscape with infuse it with some really awesome food, like those little spinach greens will be placed along here on the south side, and so all year round families can be just quite simply, once that stuff gets going, and if you have the right mulch, that really helps out with the weed control. And so you can see a little distance in the background there. And I'll do a little side shot of the property here. So this is somewhat the front, and pretty much the front of the house, accessibility wise. And there's more of the raised beds we're working on. That your contributions and of energy can help us. You can see basically we did that whole thing with some even better kind of wood chips. It was mixed in with a bunch of leaves and stuff, so that all helps out just the plant matter as they break down over time. And then, so basically we're going to go in there and have whatever we have on hand, but stuff that likes shade and stuff like that. But so that's an example of where we have just pretty much mostly shade, because those are shade gardens. And we realize that that's going to be a reduced growth rate, but still it's going to be a growth rate. So that's part of permaculture, is just greening everywhere around the house. Just make everywhere that's connected to the house. So here again we have as well raised beds here, and then eventually we'll be placing raised beds on the north side. But the north side is relatively of the house isn't really much of a factor for us, because that's still more shade, and it's up until now not been seen very much. But the north side's going to be getting some more love here, as you can see from these lovely volunteers. We got Adam over there, we got Liz, Sam, Joanna, and Herman as kind of the guide over there, permaculture guide. And with that, I think I've spoken enough for now, and wish you all well from Land of Mary Springs. Just want to give a special shout out and thanks to my family who's helped make this all possible. This has just been but a dream in my heart for quite some time, and here it is coming on fruition. So thank you all for watching, and wishing you all the best in this world of craziness. May you have peace and kindness, and may you have merriment in your life. Om Namah Shivaya.